It seems that there's a new Eldar Combat Patrol box in town, a leaked picture from the new codex showing the exact contents of what we'll get. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where today we're talking about the news of a new Eldar box coming, hopefully fairly hot on the heels of the new Eldritch Omens box if it does come out at the same time as the codex. The reason that we know this is the new Eldar Combat Patrol box is that each time they release a codex, they release an image of the Combat Patrol box that will be coming for that faction, and basically confirm within the book that that will indeed be the kit that you can buy at a later date. This one's the Eldar one, and I broadly think that people are going to be quite happy with this box. Maybe a little bit jet bike heavy, but that's not exactly the worst thing in the world. So as best I can tell, I believe the image for this was leaked to the Bolter and Chainsaw this morning, though again as far as I can tell I think that the thread was deleted. This photo here being posted to the Eldari Discord server, who have been a very good place to keep up with the news and rumours for me. The fact that this is coming out now, there's no Eldar Codex coming out this weekend, and Games Workshop promised that they'd release it in February, means that the pre-orders are almost certainly going to be on the 26th of February, at least for Codex Eldari coming out then, just over 10 days time from time of recording. It's going to be a mammoth book, 2 factions consolidated into one codex, plus the Inari and Corsairs as well, and I'm really looking forward to making a full review of the book once it comes out. At the moment we don't know whether this Combat Patrol will actually drop at the same time as the codex. Games Workshop really have been quite erratic on this recently. For quite a few of the 9th edition boxes they had the Combat Patrol coming out at the same time, or really quite soon following the codex, but at the moment really quite a lot of armies are still waiting for that. Grey Knights, Thousand Sons, Custodians and Genes to the Cults have all had their books released, their Combat Patrols teased and revealed by Games Workshop, but not actually released yet. It really is kind of unhelpful for those armies. They'd be a powerful tool in starting the faction, which a lot of people want to do when their codex drops. I guess the Eldar do already have a pretty strong start collecting box already, which we'll get to at the end of the video, so at least there's a decent way of still starting the faction at a discount, even if this doesn't release immediately. Recently Games Workshop have announced that they're increasing prices across the board, so I'd be very surprised if this Combat Patrol box doesn't eventually release at the higher pricing tier. £90, $150 or €120, an increase of £5 or $10 in euros over the previous. Like the rest of the Combat Patrols, certainly a much higher starting point compared with the Eldar's current start collecting box. Models wise, leading the box set there's a plastic Farseer, a squad of the new Guardian Defenders or Storm Guardians kit, the recent update to the fairly ancient kit that they had already. It appears 2 different boxes of Wind Rider jet bikes, so really quite a lot of fast movers there, and then a bit of raw might in a Wraithlord. In brackets are the new updated prices in pounds from Games Workshop. The Wind Riders, Wraithlord and Farseer all went up a little bit, the Farseer a little bit less so than the others, and have estimated the Guardian or Storm Guardian kits to be £36, the same as the Adeptus Sororitas Battle Sister squad currently is. I feel like they're quite a similar equivalent, recent sculpts for a faction whose foot troops are at least moderately elite and not just complete horde units. If you put that together, at least for the UK, it would mean approximately a 42% discount off buying them individually, and that does kind of hold true for the other countries around the world. So as Games Workshop Combat Patrol boxes go, it's still really quite a good discount. Quite a few of them range anywhere between the 30 and 40% mark, so it's on the upper end of what they offer. I would bear in mind that just in general, Warhammer isn't quite as good a deal as it used to be. Obviously the prices of the Combat Patrol box have just gone up a bit. It's not as good a deal as it would have been before, but that's just in general because every single kit has gone up in price. At least compared to Games Workshop's own prices, you still save quite a bit if you're looking to economise. A good deal within Games Workshop's own niche, but how expensive Warhammer is in general is a bit of a different conversation altogether. In terms of the unit mix, maybe the main standout feature of the box is that it's just very jet bike heavy. 2 boxes of the Wind Riders are a hefty chunk out of the whole value of the box, though I must admit they're pretty cool, fairly recent models, and there's few things more iconic for the Eldar than zippy jet bikes nipping around all over the place at breakneck speed, shooting the enemy and then jumping away before they can get hit back. That should be more possible than ever thanks to that new battle focus rule, which apparently these guys are going to get. How strong they are in game does remain to be seen. We don't have the full rules of their codex yet, but I'd be surprised if these guys are the best damage dealers in the codex, perhaps likely to be fielded in a bit more of a utility role. I think the Farseer is a very good choice to lead the box. Seems to be the HQ choice that you're almost guaranteed to want at least one of. I guess if you were thinking about buying multiples of the box to build up a big Eldar force very quickly, I think I would consider doing a bit of conversion work and trying to make a jet bike mounted Farseer with the other model. I do have a feeling that wouldn't be the quickest and cleanest job though. You'd most likely need to do a fair bit of green stuff work to make the cape work over the jet bike. Perhaps one of the main draws for the box is that new Guardian squad, always nice to have snazzy new models included. I guess it'll remain to be seen whether or not they outcompete the utility of Rangers in the troop slot. I'm sure that a base unit of Guardians is going to cost more than a base unit of Rangers, and being able to forward deploy and annoy the enemy does sound like it could be quite a powerful threat. Still though, with a whole bunch of boosted stats, including longer range shurikens, and the Storm Guardians being able to get a 5+ invul, it's kind of hard to imagine that there won't be at least some role for Guardians when the Codex drops. Finally, that Wraith Lord is looking like the main damage dealer of the box. I have heard anecdotes saying that Wraith Lords are going to be really quite solid in the new Codex, apparently aping the Space Marine Dreadnoughts a little bit and moving from the heavy support slot to the elite slot, which is looking a little bit crowded for the Eldar now, seeing as Dire Avengers appear to have moved there too. I'm sure the Wraith Lord will be getting -1 damage, the same as the Wraith Guard and the Wraith Knight. Hopefully between its decent guns and potentially very good melee with that sword, it's going to be a far more credible threat. Overall though, this does seem like a pretty decent pickup if you were thinking about getting into an Eldar army. I think for me, if I'd been trying to design the perfect Eldar box, I might have swapped out one of those units of jet bikes for something else. Maybe a unit of Howling Banshees or Rangers might have been nice than going so jet bike heavy, but nonetheless I think it still looks really quite useful for building up a collection, and might be quite good for people looking to pick up Wind Riders in particular. It should be going a bit cheaper on the second-hand market for anyone who doesn't want a massive overabundance of them and might sell them off when they get this box. Finally, I would bear in mind that the old box will be going away. This one's the current Start Collecting Craft Worlds, a fair bit cheaper at £55, $90 or €70, and at least within the UK it still seems that Games Workshop themselves are selling this. Again, this one does seem like a bit of a skew box. It's got the Farseer and the Wraith Lord the same as the new kit, but it has Wraith Guard and a War Walker instead, so it's a good one if you were looking to build up a force of indomitable stompy Wraith units. When I've done reviews of discount kits throughout 40k, this one usually compares quite favourably. Provided you do like Eldar Walkers, it's really quite good value in terms of discount that you get compared with buying the models separately. I believe it amounts to around about half off if you did purchase all of these individually. If you do want to pick up one of these before it goes away, it might not be all that long left depending on when that Combat Patrol box comes out, though hopefully third-party retailers should have a chance of having a few more in stock, at least for a little while after Games Workshop stops selling them. So anyway, let me know what you think of the new Eldari Combat Patrol. Is it better or worse than the previous box, and what do you think about picking one up if you were a new Eldar player? If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, where I'll certainly keep these regular 40k videos coming, and I do tend to cover Games Workshop's news and releases as often as I can. Finally, if you have been enjoying videos on the channel, I would just like to mention one way in which you can help keep them coming, which is my Element Games affiliate link down in the video description. Element Games is a UK-based discount retailer. They usually give 10 to 20% off Games Workshop's miniatures, so it can be a way to save a bit off Games Workshop pricing, at least within the UK. If you order anything off their site, after clicking the link, a small amount goes to help support Auspex Tactics without costing you any more whatsoever. Can just be a way to help out if you were thinking about picking up some Eldar or something else in the near future. If you live over in the USA, I do also have an Amazon link down there as well. Again, that one works in much the same way. Click the link, buy literally anything off Amazon whatsoever, and a small amount goes to help support the channel. Can be another way to help out on things that you were going to buy anyway. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.